Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerd Podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl Nay.
So how's fall been treating you thus far?
It's been pretty good. It's not too bad. It hasn't been too cold, so I'm happy about that. Because I hate the cold. But aside from that, it's been pretty good. So, what about yourself?
Same here. Dreading winter, but can't complain.
Yeah. I heard that it's not going to be a cold winter, so I'm crossing my fingers. I am not in the mood for like snow and ice and all that shit.
Yeah.
So,
we have enough.
Exactly. We have had enough of 2020. Can we just get through the year without no more incidents? But anywho, I guess we can go ahead and jump into these hot topics because it has been about 2 weeks since we have recorded, so we got quite a few things to get to. I guess we can start with obviously what's been dominating the headlines in the news. President-elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they both won. Obviously, they won the election, but good old Donnie is refusing to concede the election per usual. He's not helping with any of the transition. He just basically being a little bitch. What are your thoughts?
It's like, I don't know for you, but like, of course, the whole election cycle was on our TV like 24/7. So you thinking that like, okay, when they named him, president-elect, like, okay, sigh of relief, we can move on with our lives until January 20th. It's just ridiculous at this point. It's like, bro, just accept defeat. And it's crazy because I'm like, if Hillary would have did this 4 years ago, you would have been in arms. And it's like, you have lost. It doesn't matter if they throw out 9 votes in PA, 30 votes here, another 1,000 here, you still lost. The margin is not going to close. It's not going to close the gap to all of a sudden make you a winner. And I just wonder, like, who is on your team? Like, when are they going to tell you, listen, like, right now, enough is enough?
Basically, like, show some type of, like, dignity about yourself. Actually uphold the office that you held and, concede the election and do what you're supposed to do. I mean, Michelle Obama made, such a good point where she was like, you spent years trashing my husband, making racist comments about us, calling all kind of things, having people threatening my family because you was talking about my husband wasn't even a U.S. citizen. All this shit that he did to the Obamas. She said, but when Hillary lost the election and he won, she said, we accepted it for the American people. We welcomed you into the White House. We were as helpful as possible, answered all your questions. But your ass can't have no class and just accept, hey, the people voted your ass out.
Right.
Get over it.
And I'm like, it can't be defeat that got you that messed up. Like, bro, what is it?
Shit if I know. But it's just at this moment, it's just pathetic. And we just all like, could this please hurry up? Like, can January 20th get here ASAP so his ass can just, well, he probably ain't gonna go away, but you know what I'm saying? So he can just be out the White House.
But I did see Twitter say he will lose his special privileges in January.
Ooh, thank the Lord.
So that was like all of his like protections that he has now, he will lose them in January. So I'm like, oh, now he can stop lying. Great.
So now we don't have to see no more bullshit.
But at least, because I'm pretty sure he gonna cry about that until he died, that he was rigged, the election was rigged. Like, how of a sudden it wasn't rigged in no states that you won.
That right? That's what I said. I said like his argument don't even make sense. I said if the election was rigged, how come more Democrats didn't win the House and the Senate?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make any sense at all. So I'm just like, y'all whole argument is foolish as fuck. And like they whole thing leading on talking about, oh, there was so much election fraud. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to people, but election fraud happens in every fucking election. It happens all the time. Dead people vote, ballots get sent to, this people who ain't supposed to be, like, it happens all the time. It is nothing new, but it is never enough that it actually sways an election. So I don't understand, like, where all of this uproar is coming. And then, like, these people are complaining. Y'all, we've been saying for years, fuck the electoral college. We don't like the electoral college. Y'all was depending on that for y'all. So when it's in y'all favor, y'all like it. But when it's not in y'all favor, then it's like, it's a problem.
Right. And I think we talked about this like a couple of times. Like, we got to stop thinking that the electoral college is like a secret as well. Because I've seen a lot of people after the election was like, oh, the electoral college, they're not a secret. You can go and look up for your state and any other state who is part of like your electoral candidates. Right. And they come from basically you voting at local elections. That's how they are picked. But I don't know, like, I guess for me, like this, like election cycle, like I said, I just thought the anxiety, and I should have known better that it wouldn't be over on the 20th. And I'm like, the crazy thing about it is Joe Biden won by the same votes or the electoral votes that he won by 4 years ago.
Right.
Bro, let it go. Even if you turned over one state, if you turned over PA, that would not change the election. You still lost.
Exactly. That's the part that's getting me. Like, even if you could prove it in one state, it's not going to make a difference. Joe Biden won by such a margin that he still would win. So I don't even. Right. It boggles my fucking mind, like, completely. But I will say one thing about this election that made me happy, and then one thing that like irritated me. The thing that made me happy is the amount of people that actually just went out and voted, period. That in itself just, excited me. It made me happy to see that we just had such an unprecedented amount of people who came out and voted. But I feel like a lot of that came from the fact that, they had the option to mail in ballots, because let's be honest, it's convenient. You know what I mean? Like, if you telling me I don't actually have to leave my house, I ain't gotta, waste gas money, I don't have to take off from work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can literally just look at my ballot, X my little boxes, put that junk in the mail, and be done with it. Like, yes, more people are going to vote because they don't have to make, concessions in order to try to go to a voting place in order to vote. So that was one good thing that I think came out of this election, is that we saw the use of mail-in ballots. We saw the successes in the different states that use them, that allowed them. I'm hoping that all parties involved with seeing the voter turnout will be like, this may be a good plan, and more states will start allowing for mail-in ballots, because I feel like the more people that we can get to be involved in voting, the better. So that's one positive. But my one negative that I draw from it, a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't really understand how to vote, or y'all just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't get like, a lot of y'all, like, I seen y'all making comments and stuff like that, and I'm like, either one, you've never voted in your life, or two, like, you just don't understand the process, because a lot of them was like talking about, oh, y'all went in there and y'all voted for Biden, but y'all made so and so lose who was trying to do this. And I was like, wait, did you look at the same ballots as we looked at? Because, like, from what I understand, I don't think there's any states anymore that uses like the that little one candidate ballot where like if you whoever you vote for president, like it'll vote for a Democrat all the way down, or if you vote for a Republican for president, they'll vote for Republican all the way down. I don't think any, and I could be wrong about that, but I don't think there's really any states that use that anymore. Like you literally get to go through for each one and pick whoever you want to pick. And my thing is like, so that's why I'm like, either some of y'all have never actually voted, or y'all just didn't know what the fuck y'all was doing when y'all went into the little voting thing. Because you get to pick and choose who the hell you want to vote. So like if you wanted to vote for Joe Biden, but you wanted to vote for, a Republican DA, then you could have went in and voted for a Republican DA and voted for Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how a ballot is set up. Like I was so confused by some of y'all comments that I'm just like, there ain't no fucking way that you ever actually voted. Like I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, y'all, and that was the part that irritated me. I'm like, don't get on here critiquing nothing if you ain't never even casted a vote in your life. Like you don't even get the privilege of speaking on this.
Listen, the foolishness. I will say some people left my timeline from 2016, or my newsfeed rather. But just the foolishness that you see people put out, and it's like, bro, be quiet. Exactly. Be like, don't be because they go like, and I've seen people like, yeah, y'all went in there and voted for Master and blah blah blah, and I'm like, you realize that your ballot is longer than just the like that was one of my most pressing things that I saw a lot on my news feed, where people like, oh, y'all just went in there and voted for the president. Be like, there are ballots that's out here that's like 7 or 8 pages.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you not just vote for president. I'm like, and I'm gonna speak to Black people. You can't speak to them about I'm Black. But I'm like, we complain about DAs and all of this stuff. This is when you vote for your district attorney sometimes. Like, and you let that go sneak past you because you like, I'm not voting for no president because either way I lose that on it. And that's what they count on.
Yeah.
Is that, okay, either way, I'm going to lose that on there and be like, okay, well, we're going to put the DA on this ballot. It's time to do a new judge or something like that. And I'm like, and you miss out on that opportunity. But then at the same time, you wonder why, why are we getting charged this way? Why are we getting sentenced this way? Because you got a fucking DA. And I'm like, we can, like, in my county the DA is horrible.
Yeah.
But we miss out on those votes is because they slide them in elections like these. I'm like, you had states that had marijuana on the ballot. We had, I think preschool, pre-K? Head Start. We had Head Start on the ballot one time, and people kind of let that go because it's like, I'm not going to vote. But you missing an important vote.
Exactly. And my thing is, and that's why I'm like, there's no way that some of y'all have ever voted in your life, or that, or like I said, y'all just don't know what y'all doing, because you do realize that you can skip over voting for president, right? Like you don't actually have to vote on the president in order to still vote on the other things on the ballot. And I don't think people realize that, because like on my little thing, all you have to do is hit the skip button and it goes to the next, the next little candidates. Like I don't see that. So to me, I'm just like, y'all just be making excuses, or like I said, like you said, they just don't understand that there's more things on the ballot than just the fucking president.
Listen, when I tell you, I'm like, it's just foolishness. I'm like, and it be crazy because it be the main ones. They be like, free my dog, blah blah blah. They gave him this time, or he got this too much time. But like, but you missed that opportunity to like I said, get somebody in office. And I'm like, if y'all are so against all of these candidates, either you run, or why you just don't get somebody and be like, listen, we're gonna fundraise, we're gonna be behind this candidate, this who we are endorsing. Like, it's not, I don't know, it's just, I hate when elections come around because it just be so stupid.
Yeah, it bring out the ignorance in folks, for sure. All right, so I guess I think that's all the politics we got. We can move into some of the other things that have been happening. Some quick hitters. Singer Jeremiah, he is currently in the ICU battling COVID. So prayers to him and his family, obviously. Hopefully he has a swift recovery. I saw a report that said he's doing a little bit better. So hopefully, he pulls through. Just a whole sad story all the way around, though. The amount of people who have been, picking up COVID as of late. The cases in the U.S. have been skyrocketing. I saw a report that said that for the first time, I think ever, Doctors Without Borders have deemed the U.S. in need of doctors, so they've deployed their doctors to come to the U.S. to assist. That just tells you how far we have fallen. Like, when I saw that report, I was like, wow. I said, y'all know what Doctors Without Borders does. Like, they go to, mostly underdeveloped countries and assist with providing medical aid. And I'm just like, the fact that they have deployed doctors to come to the United States is just, wow. Sad.
Had a medical ship come back through instead of going to other places.
Yeah, it's craziness. So either way, you guys be safe. I know we got a lot of holidays and things coming up. So just, if you got a quarantine, because I saw somebody say today is officially 14 days, before Thanksgiving. So if y'all want to do y'all little family get-togethers and things, go ahead and start your quarantine now. So when Thanksgiving pop up, then y'all can go ahead and everybody can get together with no issues. But at the end of the day, just be safe. Y'all, you know your family situation best. Be safe, and we can make it through this whole situation. I think.
Wear your mask.
Yeah, very true. Stop rolling up on people at line in the grocery store. Like, stand on all these little grocery stores and things like that. They implemented the little social distance thing. They did the work for you. They actually put the little stickers on the floor to tell you where to stand. Stand on your goddamn sticker and stop standing right behind me. Shit.
We like, move back. It's there for a reason. Follow instructions.
Oh man, listen. I tell you, that's my one aggravation. Like, when I be in the grocery store, I be like, if this don't stand on his little sticker, like, get from behind me.
Listen, I'm with you on it, because I turned around and went, oh, why are you so close? It'd be different if some people don't have a basket, so you scan it's like, why are you so close?
Exactly. Like, I don't even be understanding. I'd be like, move back. But anyway, what else happened? Oh, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. It'll be airing on HBO Max soon. I didn't actually see the date, but I know that I saw the little clip. What is it called? Preview clip. So that'll be coming soon. Apparently, there was supposed to be a Jeezy T.I. battle, but now it's like Jeezy and Gucci. We'll see how that goes. I don't
know about that one. Because I feel like, but going back to Will Smith before I forget about it, Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, both envelopes are going to be on there. But
yes, that is true. Both of them, which I feel like is interesting, because I feel like Janet Herbert has hated Will Smith for many, 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 many years. So I was like, when I saw her in the clip, I was very surprised. So I guess maybe they made up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we gotta wait and see.
It don't work, but okay.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
I don't know about this Jeezy, because I feel like, Gucci cool, but he's not Jeezy. I feel like,
You know what's crazy? Again, like the same thing with the T.I. battle when it was supposed to be T.I. I done seen a lot of people like sleeping on Jeezy. People was like, "Oh man, Gucci got it. Gucci the streets, man. Gucci this, Gucci that." Listen, Gucci cool and all, but I'm with you. Like, do y'all understand the movement that was Trap or Die? Like, I don't.
Those motivation 101. I'm like,
What?
it doesn't. Like Gucci had hits. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But when it comes down to like flowing, it's like you can't. I don't know. No,
Girl, a
because I'm
mess.
thinking like with. Let me see, Gucci. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'll be completely transparent and say I wasn't never a huge Gucci fan. So,
Me,
complete transparency.
and the one album that I remember listening to a lot from him was when him and Yo Gotti did the album together.
Right.
Which long ass time ago. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still going with Jeezy on that one.
Yeah. So I guess we shall see what happens because I don't know either. I don't even know if I'm actually tuned in, to be honest with you.
And I feel like they was beefing at one point.
Shit, they still beefing. They still beefing. So that's why I really don't even know how that whole thing gonna happen because most of the verses we done seen have been pretty much like comfortable.
That's going to be definitely virtual.
Yeah, they can't be in the same place. So our girl Meg Thee Stallion, she was on the cover of GQ. She won GQ Rapper of the Year, correct? It's rapper of the Year, right? Wasn't just female rapper, it was Rapper of the Year.
It was actually just Rapper of the Year.
Oh, okay. Well, salute to her. She has had a good year. Can't take that from her.
And of course, I don't know if you saw like it was a post, of course, somebody hating, and it was a man talking about it was a sympathy vote. And I'm like, bro, have you seen her year though?
That's what I'm saying. She's had a good fucking year. She had a good run this year.
I'm like, she been popping this whole year. So I'm like, oh child, y'all gotta stop. And then it just be men that take time out to do that be like, so this is how you gonna start your day?
Right. But I saw an interesting quote in regards to that. I saw someone post, it's funny how we see all these dudes who are getting shot, these rapper dudes who are getting shot, and everybody is like, oh, prayers and condolences, and there's no questions about it. No, what did he do to deserve to get shot? No, we need to hear the other side. What's the proof? It's just simply, oh man, so and so, and all these people are reaching out and this and that and the other. But when it came to a female, it was the complete opposite.
Listen, I didn't want to touch on it, but definitely that's like because I was like I don't know, and I'm so out of touch now. I feel so old. I'm like, who are these people? But I'm like, well, we had two last week, and then of course Boosie got shot, and I'm like, none of y'all were, like you said, what did they do to get shot? They were victims. Y'all crying on the internet. And I think the King Von person was like, they were in an active shootout with each other. So I'm like,
right.
But y'all have all of these, sympathy for each other when it comes down to that. But when a woman is actually caught, like shot without doing anything, y'all, well, what did she do? And she lying, even when evidence come out, which Tory Lane probably can go to jail for, and they still gonna be like, he was framed.
Listen, I have seen every conspiracy under the book, and I'm with you. At this point, I have to question where the fuck all y'all Tory Lanez fans came from. Like, I gotta question it because I'm like, wait, he ain't had this much before. He did not.
He ain't never even won silver before. Not gold, not bronze, nothing. Boy, ain't won a BET award, Soul Train, Endo Basic. Where's all this stardom coming from all of a sudden? Everybody now, I ain't canceling him. But he ain't never been in rotation.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm with you. Like, I have to call cap on some of y'all because I'm like, where the fuck did y'all come from?
Just say you hate women and go.
Facts. Big facts. Staying kind of in that lane, Safari, he posted a message to the young rappers and all that about being on the internet, flashing money, their locations, and basically just stunting and all of that. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think he learned his lesson because it's hard with Safari. I'm gonna start by saying it. And the reason why I say that is because I think he still does a humble brag, I guess if you want to call it that. But he still stunt when you show pictures of your mansion and your cars and your furs and you got jewelry on. Whether you want to name the price of it or who's your jeweler or how many carats, the clarity of the cut, it doesn't matter. It's the point that you got it on. People are not blind or stupid. Now, the overall message I do agree with. Like sometimes you just gotta fly, not even fly under the radar, just not put it all out there. Like, okay, we know you get money if you know, you got shows. Even if you do wear jewelry, no one is telling you, oh, you can't wear jewelry and all this stuff. But you gotta protect yourself as well. And some of these young people, and I ain't gonna say everybody that does is young people, but these fools, they do anything for clout.
Right.
Like, okay, I shot this person, be like, what did you shoot him for? Y'all didn't even have beef. It's just the point of, oh, I'm gonna earn brownie points for this.
Right. You are correct. And my thing is like, I understand that it's not like the cool thing to do, I guess, you know, if you a street dude to have security, but nigga, get you some fucking security. Like, you not in the streets no more. Like, you are a public figure now. Get some security.
6ix9ine snitching ass got it. Get you some security, you be all right.
Exactly. Shit. Like, I don't understand. Like I said, I get it. I understand that it's not like the street thing to do. Like, you supposed to be a street dude and you supposed to handle your woo woo woo. But like, at this point, you have elevated now, or at least you have supposed to elevate it now. You supposed to be on. You a rapper. You in the public light. You a public figure. So act like it, and hire you a team of people in which includes security, who basically that's their job to handle that. It's their job to fire guns and handle situations that arise. They keep you alive, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, personally, I would be like, you can rap about, and I feel like even with hiring security, and even if you're a street dude and that's what you claim that you come from, be like, celebrity is a whole different beast. Exactly. Because at least when you know, in the hood, you kind of know, okay, this is my enemy and this is my territory, and you're only watching out in that one place. So of course you like, okay, I can protect myself because this is my one place, this is my home, I know this place. But when you become a celebrity and you know you from Ohio, but you got a show in New York, they waiting for you in New York, it's a different beast. So don't be letting these people out here like, oh, you ain't gangster if you get listen, security.
Exactly. Okay.
And folks just be fucking weird as well. Be like, listen, I'm gonna have security just to handle y'all weird. It's security. Get them out. Weird ass people.
Fact. So hopefully we'll start to see more of it. We'll start to see more people take their lives a little more serious, protect themselves. So I don't know. We shall see. But I am getting it is a little depressing to consistently, it's almost like every other day now, we starting to see this young rapper who's been shot, killed. Like it's becoming too much at this point.
Definitely agree with that.
Staying in the rap world, you said you read an article about DMX and how he started using crack.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like on Blavity or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
My bad if I'm correct pronouncing it correctly, but he was saying that he was actually introduced to crack at the age of 14 by his mentor, and I don't know, I don't know, it set real heavy in my spirit. Just like, bro, 14, that's just so freaking young.
But the sad part is this a lot of people's story.
Yeah. And it's like by your mentor, like somebody that you trusted, somebody that's supposed to look after you, somebody you look up to, and it's like, bro, this is what you did?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I've seen it's a sad tale that we see a lot, way too often actually, where we see these young people, male and female, who get introduced to adult things way too early in life by these adults who they are supposed to trust.
Sounds
So
like that makes me understand his journey more though. It's like, bro, because what DMX probably like in his 40s, if not 50s, and be like, you've been battling this for like decades.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's just
Yeah. It's definitely heavy. But some of the things that I love to see, like I love to see his relationship with Swiss Beats. Swiss Beats has known him, since they were kids, and they both were kind of like stick up kids who kind of went through it. And you see how he's always kind of been there to support him and stay down with him through everything. So, and it's never been like just about making money off of him. It's really been about being his friend and helping him. So, I mean, I feel like we don't see enough of that kind of in hip hop and just in males in general, because let's be honest, I have been seeing so many like memes and like, because there's these podcasts that pop up left and right and things of that nature. Like I literally saw a podcast that popped up. It's like two dudes and a girl, and they were talking about making, like, if they homeboy got sick, was it okay for them to make soup for him and bring him soup? And like they was literally debating it, and the girl was like, I don't know, that's kind of suspect. And then she just flat out came out and said that was gay. And I just was like, the fuck? Like, what y'all? Whoo. Like, it's hard out here to be like heterosexual dude, because like shit, y'all got too many fucking rules. Y'all can't even bring your homeboy soup now. Like, I don't.
okay. Let me tell you. So I saw that, but the person that shared it had made another joke. So I thought it was like people being funny.
No, it was real life.
Because I'm like, if your friend's sick and like, now if your ass can't cook, by all means, be like, okay. But if you can cook and you make a mean chicken noodle soup, shit, make the chicken noodle soup and take it to him. What the fuck? See, because somebody was like, if a man drink mimosas, and I'm like, but it's just orange juice and champagne, like it's alcohol. What the fuck?
Listen, that's why I'm telling you. Like, I'm like, shit, y'all got too many rules.
Like, listen. I mean, is it that he can't hold his pink up when he drink the mimosa, or he can't drink orange juice and champagne at all? Like, only women should enjoy orange juice and champagne. Can he not drink it out of champagne too? I just get so many questions because I'm like, it's orange juice and champagne, and it's like your friend is sick and you supporting them. I'm like, this is just too much work. Like,
it's woo. Listen, like, ooh, I just can't understand y'all sometimes. Y'all come up with the dumbest shit. Like, just admit you a homophobe and move the fuck on. Like, I can't take y'all.
I would be more appalled if your homeboy sick and you like, he's sick, and be like, so okay, you ain't gonna offer to bring him, take him, nothing or nothing. Damn.
You just gonna let his ass die up in that motherfucker?
Right. Be like, bad friend. Shit.
I don't know, girl. Like, it's craziness. Absolute craziness. So our last topic is it's about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, where this was on the Red Table Talk, but I felt like it was something interesting for us to talk about on the show, especially with us being two Black women who've probably, experienced this or went through this. But Willow Smith, obviously, she was on Red Table Talk with her mom and her grandma, and she made the statement that Black moms are way tougher on their daughters than their sons. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I am the only girl, and I'm sandwiched in between an older brother and a younger brother. It was the expectations. Now I will say my mom wasn't the one where the extreme, the worst of the worst, where it's like, I had to leave at 18, but my brothers could stay in the house until they turned 25. She wasn't that person, but her expectations far as like, oh, you're a honor roll student, so you should always make honor roll. And then I'm like, okay, I'm making honor roll, or I got principal list. And my brother come through with honor roll one time in the 6th grade, and the whole household stopped, and we got ice cream and cake and blah. I'm like, wait a minute, I do this every 6 weeks,
Right.
and this Negro does it once, probably on a fluke, and we get ice cream and cake,
Right.
like things like that. And like even now, like now that we're older, like my mama will still make my little brother plate or make my big brother plate, whereas mine, like she like all the food in there. I'm like, damn, shit, you couldn't fix the sister a plate, but you to fix these Negroes a plate. You know what? Okay, that's fine. But I have seen, I even witnessed it. Like I was at the nail shop one day, and this lady, it sounded like her daughter was like a teenager, but she had a son that was like probably like 19 or something. And she was like, she finna get out of my house because she's smelling herself and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and my son, I want him to stay at home till he like 23, 24, but he already moved out. But she got to leave as soon as she turned 18. And I'm like, so you want a grown ass man that should be paving his way through life to stay under your wing, but you willing to just throw your daughter out to the wolves.
Right.
As soon as she turned 18, that's not even grown, brain not fully matured, but you ready to just throw her out.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I'm right there with you. I feel like when I saw Willow make this statement, I think pretty much every Black girl felt that. They was like, yeah. I mean, because unfortunately, that's just our reality.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you have brothers, like you just see it. Like, it's a completely different dynamic in how they are treated versus how you're treated. It's just, and you just kind of learn to like live with it, accept it, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Which is sad because we shouldn't have to do that, but we have to do that.
Yeah. And I was like, it's just like I said, I wasn't the worst of the worst.
Right.
So I can imagine, but just like, hey, you know, I'm here, you know, just in the background. I don't, you know, I'm more than just cleaning. And I will say, like, again, in our household was a little different. We both took out the trash. We both had to wash dishes and all of that. But my older brother was so much older than us that, like, by the time we became teenagers, he was grown. But just certain things, like my brother, you know, like they would have girls at the house. My mom would find condoms in the car, and she was just still fine. And I'm like, if this was ever me,
shit.
ever me, if she would have had a inkling in her head that like she could have possibly left this condom in the car, give me my car keys. You can't ever borrow my car again. But all hell broke loose.
Exactly. Absolutely. I'm so with you on that, girl. Like, I couldn't even imagine, like, oh, my brothers and them could sneak girls in the house. Wouldn't be no repercussions, just whatever. But me, shit, I couldn't even contemplate. I couldn't even think about that shit. Whew. Listen, girl, I went to a party one time and got cursed the fuck out. And I just was like, but I said I was going to the party. Like, I don't even understand.
I got on punishment on my 16th birthday because I ain't know to come home with my brother daddy. Like,
ooh, child.
I'm like, I ain't know. Well, you should have known. I'm like, but you didn't tell me to. So I came home the way I had planned it on. Like, what you talking about?
Girl, I'm telling you. It's just a different set for us, and we just kind of live with it, accept it. I hope, though, as we all start to kind of, you know, think about these things and like the different types of traumas and generational curses and things that we have, that as we ourselves start to have kids and raise kids and things, that we find ways to do it differently, you know?
Yeah. And I can only, like, like when we got like we didn't have an issue with like the curfew or nothing like that. It was the same. I don't know, but it's just crazy because I'm like, I don't. It's just how they like. Oh, I want my son to go out and sow his wild oats. Who the fuck is he sowing them with? Because y'all want to raise these like over like prudish women or whatever, and I'm like, it's just I don't know, just weird as hell to me. I'm like, that you make a big difference. I'm like, the only thing that I can say, and I'm like, that goes back to teaching your sons not to be fucking stalkers, perverts, rapists, is that you do have to take on the extra layer of protection for daughters. I mean, now sons too, but especially your daughters, because you like, okay, make sure you got your maze, keep a look for your surroundings, call me when you get home, blah, blah, like all of this, but it's again that still goes back to teaching your sons to be better for people.
Exactly. And that's pretty much the cycle that we have to, parents are forced to be so overprotective of their daughters because parents are so lackluster on their sons. Like they put everything on a woman's shoulder when it's like you teaching girls, telling these girls, which in my opinion is wrong, telling girls don't wear this skirt or don't wear these around this and that blah blah blah, instead of telling dudes not to be rapey.
If she drunk, leave her alone. Let it be another day. If she say no, that's it.
That's no, right?
I'm not comfortable. I want to go home. Take her home. Like stuff like it's just
basic shit that you should be telling your son, but it's like you depend on your daughter to know. Oh, don't go to somebody's house or she can't live, but your son can be out here putting hands on females and that's the one thing I've been seeing a lot lately. Well, I teach my son if a girl put his hands, girl, female, whoever, he got a right to defend himself. What? Like I mean, listen, we not saying that your son should get his ass whooped out here in these streets, but it's a whole female. Like
to remove yourself. Be like,
exactly.
That's my lesson to my son. Remove yourself if you feel like, listen, you gotta go.
Like if you are not in physical danger, like she ain't got a gun on you or a knife or something, you know what I'm saying? Like you not finna die. Like there's, to me, I don't understand the idea behind hit her back. You know what I mean? Like some of y'all really be out here championing your sons. They didn't beat they pregnant baby mama and well, she shouldn't have put his hand. The fuck? Like she carrying your whole grandchild.
Listen. And hormonal as hell. Just weird.
Telling you, like it's crazy out here.
And it be the fact that you see a lot of women, like when that conversation come up, it be a lot of women. Well, I teach my son, I'm like, yeah, no.
Just we not. Because is you also gonna teach your son how to fend for when he get locked up?
Listen.
Because I'm just being honest.
When he put too much force, when they bring in a law and be like, yeah, what you did to her don't match what she did to you, and he in jail.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And then you crying to us about how the law ain't fair. But anywho,
I did want to bring up before we move on to relationship topics. It was one that I wrote down. Keke Palmer. Did you see like her rant about what poor people should do with their EBT? And I ain't gonna say poor people. I'm just gonna say people that I guess earn less or whatever, because you don't necessarily have to be about what they should do with their EBT.
Well, I saw, I did see where she was talking about like EBT cards, and she was saying that health food should be free or some shit like that.
Yeah, she was like, you shouldn't be able to scan a card on junk food, but healthy food should be free. And I'm like, see, now you contradicting yourself. I just don't like, I didn't like her idea of when she was saying junk food, you shouldn't be able to buy junk food on EBT. Because I'm like, so what are you saying? People just because they're on EBT shouldn't be able to enjoy drinking a soda or shouldn't be able to eat candy or have like what exactly it is that you're saying. And I'm like, even in the comments, you see, in a lot of these conversations, I hate because, of course, anti-Blackness always come dripping through every time.
Right.
But I'm like, we have to, people like, well, healthy food is not that pricey. And I'm like, that's
Shit.
a lie. Number one, that's a lie. And I'm like, and then you also have to think about availability. And it's just weird, just the conversations that people have around it is like, well, I go to a farmer's market. Okay, you go to a farmer's market that's in your neighborhood, but let's go to neighborhoods where most of the people are poor. Where's the farmer's market?
Right.
Where's the
people act like farmers markets are common. They're
right?
really not.
Right. I'm like, and I can only think of, I think, 2 here. And I'm like, we stay in a big city. So I'm like, and they're not like every weekend.
Right.
You got to look at their schedule. And I'm like, when you think about people that have children, you got to make the food last. And you're like, okay, well, if I get, these oranges, how long are they going to last? Will they last until I get another ride to the grocery store? So when you think about things like that, and just being honest, a lot of our like lower income areas, they have food deserts.
Yeah.
So they have no grocery store.
You are correct. You are absolutely correct in it.
I'm like, find somewhere to put your energy, and that's not it. Why you not going to Sprouts and saying, hey, I see that you have low price vegetables. Why you not in this neighborhood?
All valid questions. All valid questions.
It's weird to me when you see like Sprouts that pride themselves on like, okay, it's lower price vegetables. We're like, well, why the fuck you in these higher price neighborhoods? I don't understand. Because I'm like, the Sprouts here are in neighborhoods where right around the corner homes are $1 million and up. Like,
right.
It's not technically the people that need it.
And high key, if I can be I'm going to be transparent again. Like when I was living there, that was the first time I had ever even heard of a Sprouts. And so that should just go to show you that.
That's the first time I heard. When I saw an article that so happened was like, oh, Sprouts is coming to not Oakland, whatever, coming to this part of the city. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And it was right by the gym.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I can go there and get my fruits and vegetables for the week. But other than that.
But everybody don't have those options. You are absolutely correct. Because it's not a common place. So the most people have to buy their fruits and vegetables from the Krogers or the Walmarts or, whatever is close to them or near them. And let's be honest, like when you go to these different stores like that, you have to come on the right day. You have to actually be prepared to thoroughly kind of look at the fruits and vegetables to see if they're even like in good shape, if you should buy them. Like, I mean, that's one thing I hate about Kroger's. Kroger's fruits and vegetables always are like bottom tier type shit. And, you have to catch Kroger on a good day to get like the top tier shit, even in the organic section, because I stopped fucking with the other fruits and vegetables because let's be honest, those ones are atrocious. So I had to move to organic just to try to even get some that are like, what I'm saying, that are still in good condition, quality, that'll at least hold up for a couple of days. Like I shouldn't buy apples and like literally the next day them shits be like rotten. You know what I mean? Something's not right.
I'm like, so I stored it the way I'm supposed to store. Why did it go bad like this? So like, and you think about like, okay, it's fine for me that it went bad because it's like, of course, it's money lost,
right?
But like it's fine. But I'm like, when you think about somebody that's like, okay, I'm trying to make this last, and I went and bought, 6 apples, and now all 6 of them bad, and I just got them yesterday. Like that can be a hit to somebody's household that's already like struggling. I'm like, and we're in a fucking pandemic. Like this, why y'all even shut up,
Facts.
please?
I'm with you. Like, that's one thing that has been aggravating the fuck out of me. I'm just like, 2020 has been enough. We are in the middle of a pandemic. People going through shit. Just keep all that type of shit to yourself, please. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Like, all y'all celebrities and all y'all keep all that shit. It's not that complex or complicated. And I feel like we talked about this on the last show when we talked about the whole thing with the Birkin bags and Kim Kardashian vacation and all that shit like that, where we was just like, we not saying that don't spend your money. We not saying you earned it. So of course, go out, spend your money however you want to do, but just like, be a decent person and read the room, period.
And that's why I'm like with her. I'm like, and I be trying to like you stop doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Just chill out. That's all. We still love you. Just keep those type of opinions to you, or at least until after people is, the economy and shit like that is looking a little better. Shit. That's all I'm saying. Give us a break.
Listen, and put some actions behind your words. Like if you see that there's a gap, fill it.
Yeah.
But don't shame people.
Exactly. Absolutely. Because there's a lot of that shaming going on. I wish people would understand the wealth gap. And, if you don't understand the wealth gap or you've never heard about the wealth gap, please do your research, do some reading. That's all. And you will see that there is such a gap between the richest people in the world, even the median, in the world's poor. That's all I'm saying. Just do some research, understand, the different, impacts that are going on in these different communities. That's all.
True. Okay.
All right. Well, I feel like that's it for Hot Topics, yeah?
Yep, that's all I had.
All right. So then let's go ahead and jump into the relationship portion of the show. You want to start us off or you want me to?
Sure, I can start us off. That's
Okay.
fine. So my question is, do you think there's a such thing as being single too long?
Yes and no. What I mean by that is, I think yes, in the sense that like you can be single for so long that like you'll start to fall into that, it can force you into fall into like bad habits just because of the need for companionship. So you may like go out and make a decision that normally you wouldn't have made just because you just want that companionship, or you want some type of connection around, you know what I'm saying? Something to kind of feed that romantic side of your life. You know what I mean? Because I mean, naturally as people, that's what one of the functions that we're here for. We're here to love, to connect with people, have intimacy, romance, yada 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 yada. So in that aspect, yes, and then no, just in that, I mean, some people just are fully comfortable in being alone. Like, so for them, it's not single or not. Like, they're just comfortable in their own space. They don't they don't really feel the need for all the different personal connections and all that shit like that. So, yes and no, in my opinion. What about yourself?
I definitely think it is. But I don't want people to think like it's something wrong with being single a long time, because sometimes it takes that. But I do think you can be single for too long, especially when it comes down to you build like this independence thing. That I can do it, and it's hard to like let that control go, because it's like, okay, I've been doing this for so long, like I can't imagine somebody else stepping in and helping me, or even asking for help. Sometimes it's like when you've been single so long, you're like, I get it.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know though, because I feel like I don't know if that plays into people like the idea of being single as much as it's maybe like a personality trait. Because like I've been single for like a long time myself, but I don't feel like I've developed that independent. Like I have no issue if somebody want to come and take care of a player. Like come through, okay, come through, come handle some of this business over here. All right, um, but that's just my personality. I think that some people are just naturally control freaks, and I think that when they are single for that long period of time, it kind of amps that up. You know what I mean? It amps that personality trait up in them. So then, like you say, they do get that I'm independent. I can do all of this on my own. I don't need this. I don't need that. Woo, woo, woo. And FYI, because I feel like people always associate that with women. It can happen with dudes too, by the way. Dudes can get on that whole like I don't need no chick. Woo 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 woo. I got this. All you doing is messing up my flow. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't nothing but sex. Blah blah. Dudes fall into them traps too. So stop just always putting it on women. Okay.
Because a lot of y'all be on the internet talking about how does marriage benefit men? The fact that y'all live alone when you married, that's how it benefits your ass.
Yeah, factuals. Speaking of that, and I feel like we can table this to the next week, because we never discussed it, but I remember seeing that clip from the Dead Ass podcast, where they were talking about marriage, and remember how he said to his wife, you forced me into to monogamy and marriage and all that shit like that. I don't know if you saw that clip. I'm gonna send it to you, and then we can like, okay, because we never talked about it, but I feel like I had it in my back of my mind, like, yeah, I want to talk about this on the show because that whole conversation felt away to me. So.
Listen, and so many people's like, oh my gosh, I love that transparency, and I'm like, I mean, I do love Kadeem and Deval, like I do overall like them as a couple. But it just rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, monogamy is the sacrifice.
This woo child.
Like
I had thoughts.
Yeah, I mean we can discuss. I did watch the clip, like, and I seen the conversations surrounding the whole clip, and I don't know. To me, I felt like he bagged her into a corner almost because he was like, "Well, you can't keep up with my needs." But I'm like, she's the one that she has 3 children, and I'm like, we sit and think like, and I saw some. Let me get my thoughts together. I saw a clip that came after that from some pick me that was basically like, you have to do what you have to do, to make sure that your man is satisfied, and y'all get into relationships and don't know what it takes to actually please the man, and he could want this from you and this from you. And I'm like, sex is a mind thing. It starts mentally first. And I'm like, even when it comes down with people like me, it's just physical. No, because mentally you've thought about sleeping with that woman before.
Right.
I'm like, it's just, it may be like a little difference of how, but it's still the same. But when he was like, you forced me into this, blah, blah, but you wanted her.
Right.
So if you didn't want her and you knew what came along with her, she didn't lie to you. She didn't deceive you and say, okay, I'm fine without being monogamy, without monogamy. This is what she said she wanted from you.
Right.
But watching their story, and they were on Black Love, is that she basically laid all her cards down on the table and said, listen, this is what I want. This is what I need from you. Are you willing to provide this? If it's a yes, you gotta, I'm putting your feet to the fire. If it's a no, I'm willing to step.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where you felt like, oh, you tried to hold me to. No, she didn't hold you to it because you could have said no.
Facts.
That's the issue. You had the opportunity to say no, but you knew walking away what you was walking away from.
Right.
So I didn't, that whole conversation, I'm like, I felt like Kadeen could have came back with some little heat, be like, no, you had it out.
Yeah. I definitely, that was the part that rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, it sounded like she set her standards and she told you to meet them, or she was walking, which I encourage all women to do. Like, all women should have their standards. And we've talked about this multiple times on this show. All women and men should have standards, should have deal breakers, should know the things that they do and don't want out of relationships. And so if you set those forth and you telling this person, hey, you got to meet this, or hey, I'm gone, then I don't understand, what the problem is. You made the choice. You are an adult, consenting adult. You made the decision that you wanted to meet her requirements in order to be with her. So what's the issue? And then the second part of it that rubbed me the wrong way also is just the ideal that women are supposed to just be like these sexual, it's like we are only, you know what I mean? Like, our bodies just are only good for sex whenever y'all want it. And it's like, y'all don't even really understand a woman's body. Like, the conversations y'all have let you know that you don't really understand a woman's body, and that you don't even want to take the time to do that. You know what I mean? Because if you really love someone the way that you do, then you would understand that the toll that having kids takes on the body, the different effects to your hormones, like the different effects just to your body in general, to your mental. Like, I don't how like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't get how men just, like, you can say that y'all love women, but y'all don't even take the time to understand women's bodies and how they work. It's not easy for a woman after having a child just to bounce back into this sexual prowess, because it can change. You know what I mean? Her hormones could completely shift any type of way, and it could change, and she may not feel as sexual as she felt before. You know what I mean? So,
and that's what, like, even they had, he was on Doula's Dads, and it's basically talking about like how fathers took a more active role in childbirth. And he was talking about like her first two childbirthing experiences, they became less traumatic each child she had. But imagine your first child, your childbirth is traumatic, and then you're trying to recover from that. Like, just speaking for myself, my first childbirth is like, I don't want to do this again. And, having to connect that and get over it, I'm like, that takes a lot out of somebody emotionally, physically, mentally. And then you go into the next childbirth, it's still not what you want. And then finally, so I'm like, and she was pregnant like back to back to back. And you have a lot of women in that same space, like, okay, I just had a baby. 6 months later, I'm pregnant again. I'm having another baby. And like, it's just a lot. And I'm like, even when it comes down to just like your monthly hormones, it's like, sometimes I don't want it. And I'm like, every time a woman wants to have sex, y'all not ready either.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
I'm like, y'all are not ready either, whether it's work, you're tired, whatever, y'all are not ready either. So I'm like, we have this notion, I think, in society that women think about sex or want sex less than men. It's not that, because I'm pretty sure a lot of women think about it all the time. But there is scientific evidence that shows the link between us having sex with men and having an orgasm. It's not adding up.
Listen. That's all I'm saying, girl. Woo! Those are factuals right there.
1 + 1 ain't equaling 2. So I'm like, when you think about how big of a gap it is, it's like you have over, like, I think it was, I know over half of women saying that they have never had an orgasm from sex. Or you have women saying, I can't have orgasm if I'm being penetrated. That's an issue.
Woo!
Sometimes it may be a woman, but a lot of times it be y'all, and y'all don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
exactly.
that move that you did on a girl 3 years ago, it ain't working for that. That ain't working. You can't bring your same you had sex with somebody in high school and you trying to do the same move and you 36. The fuck?
Facts.
Grow your ass up.
Girl, listen. We could talk about that one for days. I do definitely want to bring it back around though, because someone told me they was like, you should go back and watch the whole episode, and because there's more to it, and he gets better, it gets more in depth. So they was like, don't judge it completely just off the clip. But I was just like, I don't know, even the clip just didn't feel good to me. But I am gonna try to be fair and go and just like watch the whole thing.
I watched all of it.
Oh, you did? Did it get better?
No.
Okay.
And I definitely could have been a little jaded after that and be like, nigga, please. But I just don't. But that's not the first time he said that. Like I said, I watched him on Black Love, and then they had a little tour thingy that they did with Black Love as well. And that's not his first time that he like said that, oh, she forced my hand. No, bro, you had that chance to say, listen, this not what I want. But what she was not doing, and like I said before, is she was letting you know your time has ran out. Like my auntie used to say, it's a bad analogy or whatever you want to call it. Either you gonna piss on the pot or you gonna get up.
Right.
So she basically, that's what she said. Either you gonna do what you need to do here, or we can move on.
Exactly.
And a lot of y'all, it's not like, again, she didn't hold him hostage. She didn't make him. But look at where he is now. And I'm like, on that end, he always be like, I needed her as a partner. So I'm like, you want to cry about monogamy or being monogamous, but you got a partner that's riding with you that had 3 of your kids, that's basically moved her family from New York to LA so you can follow your acting dreams.
Listen, girl. Oh, the things that they hinder on this whole monogamy thing, I swear.
It's and then like, when I begin that women want to be monogamous.
Listen. Woo! That's a conversation in itself too. Oh man. All right, so let me go ahead and get to the second relationship question of the week. So I saw this quote that Erica Campbell posted. She wrote, "You can't sow hoe seeds and reap marriage benefits. Your mind and body don't switch like that. You got to prepare your mind for marriage because it's a ministry." My question is, do you agree with that? Why or why not?
I disagree with the first part. And I agree with her saying marriage is a ministry. Mm-hmm. I just wish she would have told her husband that. But anywho.
Woo! Listen, that was my first thought. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, but since your husband had a whole girlfriend in the apartment. Listen, I'm gonna mind my business.
Yeah. But I hate this notion where people like, because I'm gonna start it like this. First of all, we have seen from high school, college, all this, hoes be winning. Let's just put it.
Listen.
Hoes be winning. Unlike the most of the time, it be these. I don't know what I would call them. They are a pick me, but it's like a purity thing. Like it's a purity contest. Like, oh, I saved myself. I've only had 1 or 2 partners. I didn't go out. I deserve to be married. Where you come to like this entitlement to marriage, and it's like that's not how it works. No one told you that you had to only sleep with one person, blah blah. And I just with her about this song hosties, like what do you mean? So you mean I can't explore what I want? I'm definitely not buying sight unseen. That's not gonna happen. So I just feel like with that part, it's like I disagree with it. Like, listen, do what it is that you need to do to get out your system before you get married, because when you get married, far as that part where you like, I'm a little wild out here, that kind of, you got to time that a little bit. You got to time it. Not saying your personality, but when you come down to, if you do want to explore different people, what I do like and what I don't like, that stops. But as far as when, preparing yourself, I don't think, and that goes back to like the Wale engagement little album, whatever with Seinfeld, you're ever really ready for marriage.
Right.
Because whatever notion you had in your head before going in, most of the time, I think it's totally different when you in it. You like, what the fuck? So I just, but and again, I agree with her part that marriage is a ministry when you're in it and you're kind of navigating your way through it and all of this stuff. That, okay, now these are the lessons that I learned, and you pass it down and you to somebody else. But as far as like this whole shit, I think that part right there is just pick me as fuck. Like, oh, you can't sew hoe. You can definitely sew hoe seats and still be married. Like I said, hoes be winning. Because guess what? I feel like they have that foundation of like, okay, this is what I want. They're more comfortable with that. And I'm like, shit, we say it all the time. I don't consider porn stars hoes, but a lot of people do. And they be married. Yeah. And happily married.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, yeah, no. And like I said, girl, tell Wayne it and keep it moving.
Listen. Woo! Okay. So obviously we were kind of on the same page here, because my first thought when I saw that was like, sis, we saw y'all sitting on Black Club, and we saw how he had his whole other girlfriend in the park. Like, so come on, let's bring that back for a minute, okay? You being the quote unquote non-hoe did not, apparently it didn't help you any. Like, that's the thing with these women, and like you said, it's almost like they have this purity contest with everybody else. Like, oh, I'm more pure than you, so I deserve marriage and I deserve this, and sis, we have said over and over and over and over and over again, you can be this, you can be that, but he's still gonna be sliding into old girls' DMs who was just clapping them cheeks on the internet. So I mean, like, I just don't understand, y'all. Like, live your life for you and stop like thinking that you gotta be living this certain way for these dudes in order to land one, because the right dude gonna love you regardless. Like you said, hoes win. We've seen it. We have seen it. Okay? They are out here winning. They out here getting all kind of bags. They out here, I just seen what that little report for the little Ari girl. They said she made over $10 million just off of being what is his name? G Harbo's baby mama. Like, I mean, come on, like, they winning out here, and so I don't. That whole thing irritates me, and I'm with you. Like, what's a hoe to y'all? Like, some of y'all definition of a hoe even be backwards. Like, what's hoeing to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is because a woman is sexual that makes her a hoe? I don't think so. I don't believe that a woman's sexuality or how sexual she is makes her a hoe. I mean, I believe there are some hoes out there, but it has nothing, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with sexual shit. I feel like some of y'all just hoes for y'all mentality, but that's neither here or fucking there. But because y'all be doing hoe shit. So but nonetheless, I just the whole conversation screamed pick me to me, and that's my main thing. And I know y'all sick of hearing pick me, but shit, it just fits a lot of y'all, because a lot of y'all, that's y'all main goal, and that's like y'all main purpose for judging women. Like, y'all want a dude to pick y'all, so y'all are harsh and y'all judge other women and in this type of way, because y'all think that somehow, some way, that's gonna make dudes look at you different than he look at the other chick, and it really don't. It does not. if anything, it's gonna have you, getting less than the girl who was willing to say, "No, dude, you got to take me to this 5-star restaurant. I'm not settling for McDonald's." You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about that when we was talking about dates, right? Where he was like, the girls who talking about they want to pay half, they're willing to pay half and boo. Okay, well, while your ass is out here paying half and at McDonald's, my whole meal getting paid for, baby. Like, we don't do that over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's on you. But I don't know. It just screamed pick me to me, and that's my main thing. Like, I hate the judgment of other women just for the benefit of these men, because I promise y'all this: these men don't do that. They do not do that at all. Okay, we have seen it. We know they will look out for other dudes way before they do. You know what I mean? Like, they not out here throwing other dudes under the bus, in order to quote unquote get chose by females. They not doing that. But y'all women, y'all will be quick to throw another female under the bus just to get chose. And then that same female you threw under the bus, dude out here creeping with her, are all up in her DMs right now. So it's beyond the fuck out of me. But I do agree with you that marriage takes work, and that you definitely have to be prepared for it. But like you said, there's no real way, like, when you go into a marriage, of knowing how everything's going to work. In my opinion, the only thing that you can bring to a marriage is knowing yourself, having done the work on yourself. And then once y'all get in it together, then, like, the lessons and the things that y'all go through is part of the growth. And that's how you grow your marriage and learn each other and all that stuff like that. The only preparedness I think that you can really bring is self. You have to know yourself. You have to know what you want, what you're prepared for, what your expectations are. Can you tailor your expectations? Your standards, your deal, like, you have to know all that shit going into it. But aside from that, like, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Seinfeld said it best: you're never really prepared for marriage. That's real. That was real talk. That was that Wale record was actually, there was some good shit on there that he gave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that is it, yeah, for relationships this week. Any, like, new TV, books, music, anything like that you want to drop for the folks?
Nothing really new. I am in the middle of Half and Half.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I still like it. I think now it has switched where I just love the digs that Big Diddy and Phyllis go back and forth to each other with.
Yeah.
I definitely love that. I did see some moments, and I think this is with, I'm not going to, and it's just not with this show. It's with most shows, like, during that same time period, and even before, you now are able to pick out, like, the homophobia, the anti-blackness. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. There are definitely moments where you do cringe, like, damn, we was really there, huh?
So yeah. But other than that, like, I still, like, thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I can probably go back and watch it again still.
Yeah. It's a good show. It was a
Yeah.
good show. I feel like it was before its time, because I just like the fact that they didn't try to tailor Mona to be like a stereotypical whatever. They just kind of let her be different, and I dug that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
TV, that's it. Music, nothing new there. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. So for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into the nerd moment of the week, because it kind of encompasses all of those things for me. So this week's nerd moment of the week is going to be a couple of different canceled shows, rumors, things of that nature. I did see where The Order on Netflix, it has been canceled. So after 2 seasons, we will not be getting a 3rd season. Also, Black Lightning is getting a spinoff for Painkiller. So they're going to be doing a backdoor episode. And if it succeeds, then we will be getting a Painkiller show, which I love because I enjoy seeing Black superheroes in general. So the more we can get, the more the merrier. I'm happy with it. WandaVision finally got a premiere date. A lot of us folks are not too happy about it because we expected it to come in 2020, but it's not too far into 2021. So we'll be premiering January 15th of 2021. So I'm excited for that. Y'all already know how excited I am for WandaVision. It looks so good, so well done. So anyway, I cannot wait until 2021 rolls around so I can go ahead and check that out. And for all of you out there, I finally finished The Boys season 2. I'm going to give you a quick grade. I'm not going to do my full review on the show. I may save that for next week, or do like a special video or something, just because we're running a little long. But I will say, like, my grade for this season, I'm going to actually, like last season I gave it a high B. This season I'm going to give a C. It drug a little bit. I'm going to be honest. It drug a little bit. It was a little boring at parts. I kind of fell asleep in places. I feel like they went for a lot of the cheap, like really gory, like, because there was a lot of, like, head explosions, and like it was just a lot of cheap. Ugh. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, this show started out like so smart and so, and granted they had some gore in it. That's always been a part of it, but it just was like over the top, extra, just made it cheap. I don't know. Yeah. But nonetheless, I feel like it kind of, it dragged on this season. So I wasn't like too impressed. I'm hoping season 3, it gets much better than season 2. I was not as impressed as I was with season 1, but I'm going to give a full review at some point, either on next week's episode, or I'll do like a special video or something for that. But nonetheless, that is it for me with the nerd moment of the week. Anything else on your end, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing else for me.
All right. So then, per usual, we want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening and for all your support. And we hope you have a great rest of your week. Good night, guys.
Good night.